Hi guys. Oh, where to start? Well, let's just go ahead and drop the bomb. I have another job. No, I didn't transfer departments. I have another job altogether. This is how it started. Um, Not this Saturday, but the Saturday before this last one. Just about, a week and some change ago. Uh, I walked in to work and fully expected to have to go upstairs and check to see what my schedule will be for stock. It didn't happen like that. I go to put up my things and see my name on the deli schedule. And I was like, what? I looked at it and realized that it was pretty much set so that I wouldn't be seeing my kids at all. And my youngest is going into preschool on Monday. Livid is not the best way to describe my reaction. Um, I was very displeased. So I immediately marched out of the deli. I'm like, this is unacceptable. This is bullshit. And I walked out of the deli to go hunt down the guy who pretty much, promised that I was going to be moved. He was heading out the door, and when I said, so what is happening, what's going on, he blew me off. He was like, well, you're just going to have to go speak with, the big boy. I'm heading out of here. Okay, that's never a good sign. So I went up to speak with the big boy. That conversation didn't go too well. I told him, I said, I was hoping for this move. I was kind of banking on it because a lot of things are happening and changing this week, and I really need the schedule to be done. I'm like, what happened? He said, well, we have new people. We had new people the week before. And we want to make sure we have everything settled in that department before we move you. He was like, what's going on? I said, well, on Monday, my youngest goes to preschool for the first time. I mean, it's going to be his first day. I said, and, 10 o'clock in the morning to 7 o'clock at night is not very conducive to my seeing him off. He said, your youngest going to preschool, what does that have to do with anything? No shit, that's exactly what he said to me. What does that have to do with anything? I said, nothing. It has nothing to do with anything. And I went to work. One of the ladies was like, I'll just call in. I mean, that's not a day that can repeat itself. I mean, his first day of school, his first day of preschool, it's not something that comes around again. And I said, well, you do have a point there. I was pretty much mad. So we had our wrist game. I walked in and everybody's showing up, and one guy's kind of running late because of his job. And I stopped to talk with him about his job. And he works for Amazon, and he was telling me about it. And I said, so if I got hired on, could I carpool with you? And he was like, yeah, no problem. I'd love it. Sunday night, I filled out an application. I also called my workplace and told them I'm not going to be working 10 to 7. I'll be in 12:30 to 4. They were like, well, we really need you. And I'm like, I understand that, but I have things that I need to take care of, and my son's preschool is one of them. And I just, this is what I need done. This is the reason why I was going to switch out, so I wouldn't cause disruptions to the schedule. But that's neither here nor there. This is when I'll be there. Monday morning, I get up, take the elves to school, and went immediately to the staffing place. This is how it went. I was hired within 2.3 seconds. I mean, literally, I hadn't even been there an hour, and I was hired. So I came home, called Kroger, and I was like, I'm not going to be in today at all, but I will be happy to stop and explain myself. So I set up a time to do that. Dropped off the biddy at his bus. He got on like a dream. There was no problems. I received no phone calls about him, which is a plus. And for all intents and purposes, it seems he had himself a brilliant day. I went in around 2 o'clock. did some grocery shopping, and went to go wait for the big boy. I was made to wait about 15-20 minutes. Typical. Um, and I just laid it out for him. I mean, I don't like confrontation. You know, my skin gets tight. I feel cold. I get the nervous shakes. I start sweating. I hate confrontation of any type. I didn't even realize this is a confrontation till it was over. I literally just walked in and told him, this is what's happening and this is why. I told him normally I would work 2 weeks, but I'm not able to do that. That is my thing. I worked 2 weeks on sheer principle. Some of the worst jobs I've had, I've put in 2 weeks, and I've worked those 2 weeks, if that job has allowed me to, without finding some way to shuffle me off faster, just based on the principle of the thing. But I told him, I said, this one time, I can't do it. This new schedule, I mean, I'm literally starting immediately. And with the schedule they've got, with the schedule you've got me on, that's not possible. I realize you all have been moving around chess pieces trying to get me into place, but it's taken too long. I can't be depending on everybody else to take care of my bills for me. And I have to be able to be with my family. That's why I work, so that I can spend time with my family, so I can pay my bills. You all have not been able to do this for me. This job I'm going to guarantees me 40 hours. It guarantees me a certain type of paycheck. It even guarantees overtime. You guys can't do that for me. He actually handled it quite well. I don't think he was very happy, but he handled it quite well. Get back home, put up my groceries, grabbed the biddy from the bus stop. He was crying when I got there. And I found out later, it wasn't the fact that he was upset about school or anything like that. He was upset because he was made to get off the bus. Yeah, he did not handle that too well. On Tuesday, I went in for my orientation. And on Wednesday, I started my first day of work. Now, by this time, I mean, my poor car has had it. This is 3 days straight that she has had to go all the way down to Shepherdsville, which is probably about, it's about a 15-20 minute drive. It's not even that far in mileage, but it was enough to get her upset. So her check engine light just was on for like 3 days. The only way I could get her to calm down was by turning on her AC, which was pulling heat off the engine. So, that made her a little bit happier, but she still was complaining and kind of sluggish. So, another good reason to have this job, I really need to get her repaired. Well, I had my days set up from the interview, Wednesday through Saturday, 6:30 to 5, overtime on Tuesday. Well, I did my orientation on Tuesday, and on Wednesday when I went into work, they pulled me off to one side. They had us start right around 8 o'clock. That's the reason why I had to take my car. They had us starting around 8. So I get in there, get pulled off to one side, and they're like, well, we've changed where you were. I'm like, okay. I didn't even know where they placed me to begin with, so I wasn't really, that hardcore about it. I said, if my days changed, I'm Wednesday through Saturday, 6:30 to 5, overtime on Tuesday. They're like, oh, no, that hasn't changed at all. That hasn't changed at all. So I worked my first day, discovered that I'm definitely not going to be bored. I mean, I've never worked a warehouse before. Cardboard dust smells. I discovered that. It is not the best smell in the world. I mean, halfway through the day, I'm like, what is that? Okay, it's cardboard dust. But needless to say, I probably won't be bored. I'm having a great time. I love the people I work with. There's only one hitch. I hop up on the website and look at it and discovered, yes, they had changed a portion of my schedule. They switched my overtime day to Monday. That won't work. That's not a good thing. I've been fighting all week to get that changed. I'm like, come on, look, it's one day to you guys. Nobody there cares. But I have a carpool. I set this up this way originally because I carpool in. So keep your fingers crossed that I can get the day switched back to Tuesday where it belongs, because then I'm set. I can't get pointed out. I can't, my car will not be destroyed on the way to and from. So keep your fingers crossed for me on that one. Only hitch so far. Jaden is enjoying preschool so much that on Wednesday, of course, I had the car, which meant that Daddy had to walk them down the bus stop to drop off the eldest. And the baby tried to get on the bus with him and was not amused, and he was told that was not going to happen. He went to school, and everything was kosher. Then came Friday, because he only has preschool Monday through Thursday. So his unhappiness was supreme when they went to go pick up his brother. And he couldn't climb on the bus because he didn't go to school all that day. He was ready. He was ready, from what I understand. When time came around for him to go to school, he was set. He was ready. Unfortunately, he doesn't go on Fridays. So he was mad. But I'm enjoying my new job. Baby is enjoying preschool. Things are going relatively well. I only have one minor little hitch in what's going on with me right now. But I think that that'll work itself out. It's one of those things where I will definitely find a way. I am away from the misery I was in before. And part of that was due to the readings that I was doing. I finally sat up, listened, and paid attention, and realized I'm sabotaging me. Last 2 years been horrible years for job, for bills, rent, everything. Just been absolutely terrible years. And I had gotten to the point where I was so afraid of everything, I was creating my own fears, and it spilled over into even the things I enjoy, like doing tarot readings or writing. I became so afraid of doing poorly or failing at these things that's almost like I'm setting myself up for it. And if I continue along that path, eventually it will happen. I'll make it happen. So I decided to go ahead and stop that before it starts and change a few things. Like I said, one or two minor annoyances, but other than that, I changed it. I haven't keeled over. Everything, I mean, I have some adjustments I have to make, new schedule. Definitely need to have some adjustments. Sleep patterns especially. Last week, I've been getting about 4.5 hours, and that isn't working. I mean, on Saturday, we all gathered, because there's like 3 of us. We all gathered at the DM's house for our game, and there's 3 of us that have our birthday on the same day, so we're going to celebrate a little bit early. Oh, I was so tired, and by the end of the night, I was so sick, I had to call it quits before we even really started gaming. So there was that minor hitch, but, other than that, this has been one of the best weeks ever. It's been a bit of a blur, but it's been one of the best weeks I think I've ever had. It's put me a bit behind. I'm slowly working out my schedule and how I can keep up with you guys and keep up with the family and everything else. But I think that I'm going to have this nailed before too long. Just keep your fingers crossed for me. Keep your fingers crossed definitely that I can get that day switched. Keep pulling for me like you always do, guys. Hopefully I'll have a little bit more than ramble next time I go to post. I know this probably isn't very sufficient for, wow, what happened to Mandy this last week when we hardly saw her. But that's all that happened. I mean, I switched jobs, and baby went to preschool, and it has been a blur of a week. Today, I am celebrating by treating it like an ordinary day. I went and got all my running done. I'm going to be doing my laundry. I'm going to be taking a very much needed shower and just chilling. And when the boyo comes home, doing homework with him, eating dinner with them, and just enjoying my day because it's my day off. So keep an eye out for more posts, especially that Doctor Who post I've got coming up. And it feels so good to actually get this videoed and posted like I've been trying to do for the last 4 days. I'll probably have something more for you here soon, and I will definitely let you guys know. Until then, I love you all. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Talk to you soon.